In late January, McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell announced they would stop using a meat product dubbed pink slime in their beef. A month later, in what ABC News labeled a startling investigation, a former USDA scientist said the lean, finely textured beef shouldn't be used. That scientist had coined the term pink slime in an earlier memo. Fast forward to this week, as Beef Products Incorporated, a producer of the meat, has shut down plants in Iowa, Kansas, and Texas. Its plant in South Sioux City remains open, and 3 governors and 2 lieutenant governors, including Nebraska's Rick Sheehy, toured that plant on Thursday to support the product and its workers. This week, we talked with Dennis Burson, a UNL Extension meat specialist, about why some consumers fear a product approved by the USDA.
Within the beef industry, when we fabricate meat cuts, or when we cut meat cuts, steaks and roasts and such, today the consumer wants very little fat on the cut, and so what we end up with are some lean trimmings, and in those lean trims, many of them have a lot of fat in the content. And it becomes too expensive to try and knife all of that out, and so techniques have been developed to recover the lean portion and the protein portion of that material, and that's what lean, finely textured beef is. It's basically a system that recovers the lean.
So plants that have received heat over the past week or two, how do they go through the process of putting this or getting the lean, finely textured, and then getting it to supermarkets where it's added into beef?
Okay, they produce a product that is added to other products. In the process of extracting some of the fat, they need to finely texture the meat in order to extract the fat from it. And in addition, there's a high level of concern right now about foodborne illness, and they need to also think about controls for pathogens such as E. coli or salmonella that can make people sick. And so they will treat it with what we call an antimicrobial treatment. There are 2 basic types of treatments that are being used in the industry. The one that's received the most attention is ammonium hydroxide treatment.
Let's talk about the major fears. ABC News in their story said this is a product that was used in the past in dog food and cooking oil, so obviously the public had an outcry about that. What are the real risks to consumers?
Well, first of all, the product is produced as human food. It's not, even though you can take anything and send it to pet foods or dog foods, but the product is produced as a human food, and that needs to be clear. It's produced under USDA FSIS inspection and it's produced as human food. What are the risks? Well, the companies that use the ammonium hydroxide need to prove to the USDA, and USDA has to review and approve it, that the process does not affect the composition or does not present a hazard. And in fact, this compound with FDA approval has been listed as a GRAS substance. That's generally recognized as safe. And so both FDA and USDA have said that this is a safe process from the information that they have seen from the company that's applied for it.
What are the limitations in using it in beef, both regulatory and conceivably how much you can put in?
The lean, finely textured beef has a use limitation of 15% in a product. Processors may not use that high of a level because there could be some quality issues that they would be concerned with, and so use levels are usually lower than that. And so once they achieve their fat content in ground beef, then that will limit them probably to a lower use level.
So in the end, it is safe for human consumption. There is a limited amount that's put in.
That's correct. The safety of the product has been reviewed by USDA and FDA. And as I would look at it, if you try to think about the potential hazards that might be involved in our food system, I'm a person that does a lot of hazard analysis. The hazard or the risk of this compound is almost nil or very, very low, if anything. And the hazards, though, of E. coli, 157, and salmonella are not. They're more serious.
Burson says if the USDA would be required to list lean, finely textured beef on labels, drawing the line on numerous other ingredients and processes would be incredibly difficult.